Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Sacred Souls podcast. I am your host, Janae, and today I wanted to get into something that I've just been reflecting on, and that is creating the moment. Don't wait for the motivation to come. Don't wait for the inspiration to come. Create and then allow yourself to be inspired through your creations. Don't stop. Even when you find yourself in moments of creative blockages. Recently, I've been experiencing a lot of writer's block, and I haven't been writing or even just putting myself into motion, and that has been affecting me in many ways. And so I almost made a vow to myself to just create, even through the imperfections and not having all the tools or the resources, just allowing myself to create in spite of the doubts and all the little things that get into our brain. Just create for the sake of creating, and because it's something that your heart needs, is something that is healing for you. And the Sacred Souls podcast is something that I created in a moment in my life where I felt very lost, and I felt almost like I had no path, I had no way. But I was really inspired by some of my friends who create a podcast, and I also at the time got into just more journaling and audio journaling, and just speaking my mind and bringing my thoughts out into the world. And I found through the process that I started to become a lot more open. And I grew up a very reserved person. I didn't really speak much. And so my podcast was really a way for me to open up more and express myself and allow myself to meet new parts of myself. And I feel like along this journey, I've experienced myself in so many different ways and met my mind in a real way that I never experienced through not having my podcast. So I'm really grateful to have this platform, or to have created this space where not only I can express myself, but I can also make other people feel seen and heard through their own experiences, and just really touch lives in that way. I'm really grateful for that. creating is something that I feel like needs to be a constant motion, a constant practice, that whatever it is, whatever we do, we are creating, and creating these moments that we want to see more of in the world, creating the art that we want to see more of in the world, and really, pushing forth our light and allowing ourselves to be received. And I know sometimes our light can be intimidating for ourselves. It can be sometimes really hard to just see how big we are, to feel our expression, and to really sit with that. But I want to really just challenge you to push more of that into the world, in spite of the doubts, the fears, and don't wait for the validation or the approval of the world. I know that because we live in a society, it's really hard sometimes to break away from what society demands of us. But my goal throughout these episodes is to really challenge you to challenge these social norms and these rules that have been placed upon us. We are so much bigger than the boxes that society puts us in, these labels that we've been given. So don't wait for the world to see who you are. See who you are before somebody else does and takes advantage of that. And like we see all the time, that's really what takes place in real time, is that so many of us are walking around so big, like our spirits are so big and so bright that that light gets dimmed over time. But it's really up to you. It's up to you to bring some of that light back into the world, to reinvigorate your spirit in moments when you don't feel like it, and to do it when you don't feel like it. And meditate when you don't feel like it, journal when you don't feel like it, do all the things that you know that you need when you don't feel like it, because that's when you need it most. And that's what love is giving you the things giving you the things that you know that you need. And not, waiting until the moment is perfect and everything to do all these things. Do all these things when everything is good, and do all these things when everything is not so good and you don't really feel like it. because it's little by little. I swear, things build on top of itself. So the more that you put forth action, the more that you try in any direction, the more that you're going to see progress. And something that I've really been struggling with is allowing myself to be a beginner. Sometimes it really challenges my ego that I feel like I, should know something and I maybe don't know how to do it right away or whatever it is. Like, that really challenges my ego that I'm not an expert right away, but learning to be a beginner and enjoy the process of getting to, that's something that I feel like is going to be a lifelong journey. And, I'm open to the process. I'm open to learning, open to living. And ultimately, what I'm seeing through this whole experience is that we came here to live. We came here to learn how to live and learn what it means to be alive. Learn what it means to feel alive and to experience this human experience. But that is all that I have for you. If you have any questions, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at the Sacred Souls Podcast. My TikTok is also the Sacred Souls Podcast. And thank you all so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your week. Thank you.